Welcome once again to your update from the city of New Hope. We touch base with the mayor on a weekly basis to keep you informed. Welcome, Mayor. How are you today?
Hi, Dave. What a gorgeous day it is today.
It is fantastic. And that golf course behind you was very busy over the weekend. We're going to talk about that in a little bit and talk about many other things happening in the city. Let's begin with talk about recycling and an opportunity to get rid of some of that stuff you may have put in your garage over summer. What's the big event and what's the group behind us?
Well, the Hennepin Recycling Group is the one that puts on the special materials recycling, and that'll be on the 8th of October from 8 till 3. I'm just warning people, don't show up at 8 o'clock because the line is really, really long. You'll put up the brochure so they'll see what it is they can and can't bring into recycling, but it's a good way to get rid of that stuff because you can't just put it by the curb anymore.
City's website, a lot of information about that as well. So go to newhopemn.gov if you want to find out more about how to work that day. Election season is upon us. A lot coming up here along with voting. We've also got candidate forums. Tell us a little bit more about some of the events going on to inform the residents.
League of Women Voters puts out a candidate forum for Senate District 43. It used to be Senate District 45, but if you live in New Hope, they've redistricted. It's called 43 now. So that'll be on the 22nd of September at 7 o'clock at City Hall. People are welcome to come. If they can't make it and they want to submit a question, they can do that to the League of Women Voters, or they can watch it live online on CCX.
Excellent.
And then on the 6th of October, another candidate forum, and this one will be for the 2 seats that are available for the City Council in New Hope.
Right.
Start at 7 o'clock, same thing. It'll be live, and you can also see the replays if you'd like.
Very good.
So then the other thing, on Friday, this coming Friday, the 23rd, you can start doing absentee balloting. You can go into City Hall between 8 and 4:30, and you can actually register there if you need to do that and vote there too. Now, of course, you can always go to your polling place on November 8th to vote the regular way if you'd like. But there's this early voting if you'd like. So if you don't know where your polling place is, you can go to the Secretary of State's office and look it up, or you can just call City Hall and they'll tell you, give them your address and they'll tell you where you're supposed to go to vote.
Very good. That site for the Secretary of State is mnvotes.org, so you can find out more there about where to vote. Let's talk about community development, a number of items happening in this department. The first is the monthly single-family conversions to rental. You've got some new numbers to update us on.
We do. Very often people tell me there's lots and lots of houses that are rented. What happens is people put them in rental and then they go south for the winter. So, so far this year, 16 houses were put from single family to rental, and 8 houses were put back from rental into single family. So that kind of goes back and forth. Not as much rental as you'd think of those houses, but that's just an option for people when they go south for the winter.
Here's another item under community development that involves that course right behind the mayor. It is the golf event that is coming up. Tell us a little bit about the opportunity to go out and play and support the community.
Well, they have this annual tournament. It's the 25th annual tournament with the Chamber of Commerce. If you don't play golf, and I believe they're pretty full right now, but if you want to just come for the barbecue, you certainly can do that. There's a cost for that. I'm not sure exactly what it is, but it's not outrageous. It's always fun to kind of mix with not only city staff and the politicians, but the business people in the community. So that's open to the public if you'd like to come and do that.
Another item under community development is the Curbside Appeal reimbursement program. It sounds like more people getting signed up for this great program.
There is. We're up to 7 that have been approved. Now they're looking for things that will look nice from the street. So, such as garage doors with windows or new windows in the front. In one house, they actually extended the porch out, put some pillars in, and put some rock face on it. So we've had 7 that are approved, and of course, we're looking for more. We just have a certain amount of money for the year, and when that's gone, it's gone. But if you have a project in mind, now's the time to submit those plans, see if you can get approved.
And again, the New Hope website, the place to find out how to do that, newhopemn.gov. You can also go there to find out about this next event, the job fair that is coming up. We've been talking about this over the past month or so, that there was some surveying being done to find out if it was something of interest, and it sounds like it's a big interest.
It is. We've got 26 businesses that are going to be there. It's going to be on October 13th from 10 to 1 at City Hall. It'll be in the council chambers and in the conference centers that we have. So if you're looking for a job or if you're looking to find some part-time work, that's the place to be. So October 13th from 10 to 1.
Let's move on to scattered site housing. One property to update on, and that's 42nd and Boone, right at the corner there, the old treehouse property. Sounds like things are moving ahead.
They are. We finally agreed on the demolition contract on the 13th of September. Now they have 2 months to get that demolition done. One of the things I want to mention, and I think this is really cool, our community development guys and the public works guys have been working as a team with the demolisher, the people that are doing the demolition, to make sure that they're doing exactly what they want done. So I think that's pretty neat when you get all those people working together so we get it right the first time.
Good partnership going on there. Business networking group. Speaking of partnerships, here's a group that gets together on a regular basis. Mayor, you have information about their next meeting.
October 5th at 8:30 in the morning. Tony Salinger, who is from the town planner, will be there. That's the calendar that gets done every year. He's going to explain how he gets the dates for that calendar and the events that are happening, how he gets the sponsorship, what that sponsorship means and how many people it goes out to. And it's just kind of interesting. The calendar doesn't just happen. Somebody puts it together. So that's always an interesting meeting to be at. Now, I know that they're looking for sponsors for the November and December meetings. So if you want to open up your business and have 20, 30 people come in and hear about your business, give Brandon Bell or Jeff Alger at City Hall a call and they'll help you get signed up.
Yeah, great opportunity for a little promotion about your business and meet some other people in the community. Let's go to the police department. As always, a lot of activity here. The first is Meals on Wheels. Even though they're so busy, they're still delivering meals.
They are delivering. There were 2 that went out this last week to do that. We're finding that's a real big bonus out in the community. I know they can get other people to deliver them, but these 2 cops go to your door and bring you a meal. How wonderful is that?
Yeah, great opportunity for them to get out and do some outreach. Speaking of getting out and about, the chief and also some of the captains involved in some very important meetings recently. Who were they meeting with?
Well, they typically meet with the other Hennepin County chiefs just to talk about, bad guys don't understand that there's property lines or city lines. And so if a thing happens in Crystal, it's probably going to happen in New Hope too. So those chiefs get together and talk about the crime. They're also meeting with the county attorney and what the county attorney's office does to help our police department, what our police department can help them. So they are busy.
Recently, the start of a great event that we've been talking about, the TriCity Community Police Academy. This is already underway. Again, how many people involved and what are they having an opportunity to learn?
Well, 27 signed up this time, and they started last week. They do everything about the police department. They get to look at all the gear the cops put on. They get to actually handle an unloaded gun. They do a ride along if they'd like. Just about anything that the police department does, they get involved with. And they go to all 3 cities. So they get to meet all 3 chiefs or at least staff from those 3 police departments. It's just a fun adventure if you haven't done it before. And it's free.
That is good as well. Final note, we've got some community service officers that have joined the city and also a search for a new police officer. Give us that information.
Well, we have 2 new community service officers joining us. The city is really involved and wants to promote as much community development as we can and getting people and the police officers we find that really does deter crime. The other thing is we're starting the recruitment process now for a new officer. And what they have to do by the rules, so they have to post it internally. And if we don't get 2 qualified candidates internally for that spot, then we go to the outside and do that. I just want to mention to people that we really do look at diversity and we want to be inclusive and we want to get as diverse of a police force as we can, but we have to obey by the rules, and that is we have to post it internally before we can go outside. And then we post it in just about any place that anybody would be interested in joining our police department. We have an excellent police department. We're very proud of them.
Let's move into Public Works. One item to update on here, a number we've been following with the utility bill certification. What is the latest number, Mayor?
Well, from 315,000, it's down to 249,000. These are delinquent water bills, and as you know, we pay for the water from Minneapolis, and then it gets doled out to residents. And when they get the bill, we expect them to pay it. Well, sometimes that doesn't happen for whatever reason. So we'll be working on that, and then come the end of or the middle of November, it'll get certified onto their taxes, and they'll pay a 7% interest rate on that. So it really is beneficial if they can get that paid before that certification happens.
All right, buckle up, folks. Now it's time for Park and Rec, and so much happening in this area as we're going to be talking about the fall season, but also a little bit about winter in just a second. Let's stick with fall, though, to start. And what we have starting up right now are the dance classes. So we've got lots of dancers getting involved, and a neat event they have coming up that involves shoes.
It does. Actually, this year we have 320 kids signed up for dancing. And as you know, kids' feet grow from year to year.
Right.
So to kind of help with the expense of the dance program, they do a shoe exchange. And that's happening this week. So if you've outgrown your shoes, you bring them in and I don't know if they purchase them or they're given to them, but they get a pair of shoes that fit. So they're not buying new shoes every year for these kids. They're doing this. I think that's just an ingenious idea.
Yeah, very good idea. And the dancers are starting, and also the flag football players are starting. Where do these fine teams compete?
So they're mostly going out to our fields and our parks and they're playing flag football. Younger kids, we got a lot of volunteers. The dads or moms are out there volunteering with these kids. Also, the gymnastics has started. 160 participants in the gymnastics team, and that's really exciting.
Yeah, lots of people involved in the youth activities in the city. Let's talk now about a couple of grants that the city is working with and some nice opportunities here to help out in some parks with some new trees and also get rid of some trees that aren't doing so well because of the emerald ash borer.
Yeah, well, we got a grant from the Find Your Five program. That's this program that runs all through September, and they want people to keep track of how many fruits and vegetables they eat a day. Apparently, you're supposed to eat 5 a day, and they want you to kind of keep track of that.
Okay.
So because of that, we got a grant from Hennepin County, and we're using that to plant fruit trees in Little Acre Park. And that's going to happen on the 28th at 5:30.
Okay.
So if you're interested in actually helping to plant a tree, or you just want to watch, 5:30 at Little Acre Park.
Fun. And the other related to the emerald ash borers is we've got a grant coming that will help get rid of some of those trees on city property, it sounds like.
Well, there's something called the Healthy Tree Canopy. And we try to apply for as many grants as we can. Really helps to keep the cost of stuff down. So we got $37,000 from Hennepin County. We're going to use that money to remove and replace the trees that have been damaged by the emerald ash borer. And those little guys are all over eating the trees. And there's an awful lot of trees in our parks that need to come down, and we'll use the money to help alleviate some of that.
Let's move ahead to winter now for just a second. Tell us about the winter brochure. This doesn't happen overnight. A lot of work going into getting the programs ready so people can sign up and register.
So here it is, 80 degrees, and summer is just getting over. And I get this note that says we're working on the winter brochure. So I called, I thought it was a typo. And they said, oh, no, it takes a long time to get that brochure ready. Not only do they have to secure all the places and all the events that are going to happen, they've got to just get it printed and get it out to people. And it just takes forever. So they're working on the winter brochure right now.
All right, we'll watch for that coming out. One thing that's very nice here and maybe an opportunity to get out while we still have the nice weather is Hidden Valley Park. They've got some new equipment there now.
They did. So this is the park that we were redoing this year. And when they started to take out the old equipment and get the container ready, they found out that they weren't going to get a shipment on the equipment to come in, like the slides and the swings. So they got all the stuff ready, but no equipment. So it shipped last week, and they're expecting it early this week. But the later part of the week, they should be installing it, weather permitting. So it's going to take a week or so to get that installed, but we'll have Hidden Valley Park by the end of next week. We should have Hidden Valley Park back up and running.
All right, kids, keep an eye on that and get out and have some fun. Speaking of people having fun, we talked earlier about the golf course, how busy it was. Here is the proof, Mayor. This past weekend, everyone was at the golf course, it seems like.
It's day and night.
Yes.
So the Cooper class of 81 did a shotgun tournament at noon on Friday. Friday night, there was a group there, the Augsburg women's hockey players were there in the evening to play night golf. The next morning, the parent had golf group had a tournament. And then that night there was another glow tournament. And then come Sunday, the Armstrong Cooper girls had a fundraiser there. So it's been busy. Now through all that, the tournaments, the grounds have to be kept up. And
Sure.
a lot of times they have to remove the holes. And so they're constantly cutting and sweeping and cleaning. And that staff has been so busy. And I noticed this morning, it's Monday morning, there were just a whole bunch of cars in that parking lot
I bet.
again. So this is a real busy season, not only for the night golf, but for the leagues and the daytime golf too. Very profitable place that golf course is.
Hats off to the crew at the course for keeping things rolling there. And also hats off to the crew at the ice arena. They are busy as well. They're really ramping up right now. But listen to this activity that happened over the past weekend. Again, you've got lots of people at the ice arena.
And we too, they had the elite hockey players there, the high school hockey players. They played 12 games on Saturday and Sunday. So that means those ice rinks were just full all the time. They had some open skating on Friday, which, every time there's a group on the ice, the Zamboni has to go through.
Sure.
Speaking of that, we're looking for a Zamboni driver.
Aha.
I told them I would do that, and they said, we've seen you drive. So they said, no, thank you. But we are looking for a Zamboni driver.
Okay.
Well, the other thing that's happening is youth hockey. They've got those kids doing their pre-skate tryouts right now. And then there's something called Little Wild Try Hockey for Free event. And that's happening this Thursday. Basically, you bring your child in. They fit them with skates, pads, helmets, a stick, and they play a little hockey for free to see if it's something they might like. So it's been a very successful event up to this point. And if you want to see what it's like, bring the child over and let them play some free hockey.
That sounds fantastic. All right, a couple final notes to pass along of some events that are coming up. You may have seen these on social media or the city's website. The first is the West Metro Fire Rescue District Open House is coming up. Give us some more details.
That's going to be on October 4th. I don't know what the time frame is at the moment, but typically they open the doors and they let the kids come and see the big fire trucks and talk to the firefighters. And it's just a fun event for young kids to come and see that.
All right, that is on a Tuesday, so stop by and see that. The photo contest continues on. Again, remind us of the different categories and how the photo contest process works.
Well, they have until the 21st of October to submit their photo. And I suggest that when you take a photo, try to name it, because it just makes it easier for people to vote. So the categories are people, places, wildlife, and nature. And we ask that people only submit 3 photos. When the photos are in, they'll be posted. So you can see them online. You can go to City Hall and see them. And starting in November, you'll be able to vote. So we have a People's Choice Award and the regular award, and we also have a youth category. So there's lots of opportunity, and the pictures are really cute.
Yeah, fun way to get involved in the city with your camera, and then they use a lot of those photos in some of the publications that come on down the year. Final note to pass along, Can Do Canines, a great organization in the city, and you're getting excited about this because I know you're a judge, Mayor. What's happening with the dogs in town?
Well, apparently everybody's invited and they're well-behaved dogs.
Okay.
So the flyer says, I don't know what that means exactly. But what I'm doing at noon, this is going to be on the 24th, and it's from 10 to 2. But at noon, the police chief from New Hope and the police chief from the fire chief from West Metro, we are judging the doggy costume parade.
Nice. Very, very good.
If you've never seen a doggy costume parade, it's worth coming out to see. It's so cute. So they dress these dogs up in little outfits. Last year, I think there was one dressed up like a police officer.
Okay.
We had one dressed up as a a firefighter.
That helps for some of those votes, right?
Yeah, and they, they've got, some of them got tutus on, some of them are dressed like Raggedy Ann and Andy. It's just cute and the dogs are so well behaved. So if you have a pet, or even if you don't have a pet, come on out between 10 and 2 and just come for the fun.
And that is located again at Can Do Canines right in New Hope, not too far from Bass Lake Road and 169 in that southwest quadrant or southeast quadrant of that area. So that's your update for the city of New Hope for today. We do have a lot of events going on in the city, so stick with us, a calendar of those events in just a second. But Mayor, thanks again for your time. Always great to talk to you, and we'll see you again next week.
Thanks, Dave. See you then.
Learn more about the connection at ccxmedia.org and follow us on social media.